Welcome back. Oh, I should sit down first.
Yeah.
Welcome back to BBB Adventures.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, we wanted to do a quick episode that explains
Our
a few
hiatus.
things. Yeah, explains our absence and explains some other stuff that's going on in our lives. We haven't released an episode in.
I don't know how long it's been.
It's been a month or so. In that month, we've made a lot of life decisions, and we took a trip. And those things contributed to us not being able to get episodes prepared to release. Let's talk first about some life decisions that we've made. If you've been a follower of the channel for a while, you know that we moved to Idaho at the end of our assignment in Taiwan. We moved to Idaho in 2020.
We're probably not even quite halfway. It feels like the house is filling up already.
We moved here specifically to be near my father. That was the number one and almost the only reason we moved to Idaho Falls, was to be near my father.
The second reason was he had a basement that we could live in.
Yeah.
We didn't have a home then.
So that worked out great. We are super happy with that decision. We enjoyed the time we got to spend with him. We were privileged to have the opportunity to help him through his end-of-life transition, but he died almost exactly a year ago. So in that year, since his passing, for the first part of that, we dealt with his estate, but then we ended up doing some soul searching. And this fall, after much deliberation, much consideration, much analysis, we've made a decision that we're not going to stay here. Yeah.
We don't like snow.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
It's one of the
And
reasons.
it snowed today.
Yeah.
But we've decided, we looked at a lot of different places, but ended up deciding we are going to move to, ready for it? Drum roll, everybody. Houston, Texas. Yeehaw!
Well, Houston.
If you follow the channel, you probably won't be surprised by that. You've seen us in Houston many times.
But 2 of our 4 children live in Houston.
Yep.
And my son has a business down there, Rent E-Boards, that's doing well, and we want to be near the children. The other 2 children live in Chicago, so taking a flight from Houston to Chicago and back is pretty easy compared to
Idaho Falls.
It's really difficult to travel from Idaho Falls. You pretty much have to drive to Salt Lake to catch a reasonable priced flight, and anyway, Houston. And those of you who live in Texas, and I know we have some viewers in Texas, are going to go, what is wrong with you?
It gets hot there. We're going there with eyes wide open. It gets hot in Taiwan, too. We lived for 6 years with that temperature.
That is the thing. We know what we're getting into, because she's right. I mean, the climate in Taiwan is almost precisely the same as the climate in Houston. Hot, humid, subtropical. We know what we're getting into. And we're okay with it. Plus, we still have our adventure vehicle, and if it gets too hot, we'll drive north.
Yeah.
Just like we drove south for the winters here. So Houston is it. So once we made that decision, we put the house on the market and then quickly took a 20-day trip to Taiwan.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason we haven't published anything, is we spent 20 days in Taiwan. By the way, while we were there,
we sold our house.
We sold our house. So the house, this may be the last time you see a scene from this particular perspective, because this house will be not ours in about 10 days. We also, while we were in Taiwan, though, took a lot of footage.
We did some excellent bike rides.
Yeah, we did some great bike rides, and we're going to be sharing those with you in the future.
We're so fortunate to be able to do that.
We did have one SD card that went corrupt, and we sent it to a place, hopefully can recover some
Cross your
footage,
fingers for
there's
us.
some really good footage on that card.
Just go come.
What else happened while we were in Taiwan?
While we were in Taiwan, we became grandparents.
We did.
Woohoo! Baby granddaughter Lorelei was born October 22nd, and she's doing beautifully.
Mary Beth got to just go take a trip to see her.
I did get to go see her right when we got back from Taiwan.
And I get to meet her on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So, and I get to meet her on Thanksgiving. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So, and I get to meet her on Thanksgiving. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened while we were in Taiwan. So that also happened whi But let's review the craziness that we signed ourselves up for. So we put our house in the market.
But we can't.
There's going to be a short period of time between when we have to be out of this house, but before we can move into the house in Houston. So that is the period of homelessness that
We've worked ourselves into.
So during that time,
Disco is playing. I hope he's not disturbing
I
you.
don't understand. He never gets like this.
Never say never.
What is it, buddy? What's this? What's this? What's this?
Is it recording?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you need some attention? Do you need some attention? Okay. So there is this period of homelessness that we're gonna experience. So what are we gonna do? Well, we have our adventure vehicle, which we've named, but we haven't shared that with you yet, and we're very sorry about that. It's very delinquent. We have a specific time we want to unveil the name, which is in an upcoming video. So for now, we're just gonna call it
The adventure vehicle.
the big van. So we have the big van, and we're gonna live in the big van at Frank's place during this. So we're moving all of our stuff from the house into Frank's place temporarily. What'd you say? What are we doing with Frank's place?
Yeah.
Remember when I probably...
No, you never said it. Frank's place will always be Frank's place.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
that's what I said. In our introduction video, I said Frank's place will always be Frank's place. Well, we got this building from Frank. Frank is my dad's probably oldest and best friend. And this was his building. He got to the point where he didn't want it, need it anymore. And so we bought it from Frank. It's a great building. It's perfect for what we're doing. It's called Frank's Place because Frank built it. It was Frank's place when he owned it. It's Frank's place now. It will always be Frank's place. Maybe what's implied there is that we would always own Frank's place, but you know, that's why you should never say forever or never or ever or any of these words, because life happens, life changes your plans, and yeah. So we've sold Frank's place, but we don't actually have to be out of it.
We don't close on that until January.
Right, and so we have for most of January to get out of that building. There's a lot of stuff in there that has to be moved. What are we doing with all the stuff at Frank's place? We are going in with our son to buy a commercial building in Houston. He's going to use half of it for his business, rent e-boards. We're going to use the other half as Frank's Place at Houston, or Houston's Frank's Place, or FPH, whatever. We don't know
Frank's
what we're going to
Place.
call it, but we're just relocating Frank's Place to Houston, basically. And so that part of the channel won't be changing.
Just the location.
Just the locations. So yeah, we're moving to Houston, and we're going to have a home, and we're going to have a workshop just like we do here, but we'll be closer to family. It'll be easier for us to get to other family, like our kids in Chicago.
And vice versa. It will be easier for other family to come to us too.
Right.
My sister will only be 7 hours away in New Orleans. Very excited about that.
It's a pain to get there, but when we get all of this done, we think it will be very good. But yeah, we have a tremendous amount of work ahead of us, which means during this transition, we're going to be somewhat unreliable, I think, in our posting of episodes. After that, we'll get back to a weekly schedule. But let me just tell you, except I can't see. There's a bright light, and I don't have my glasses on.
I can read your notes.
It's my notes. Let me tell you, just give you a little heads up, a little taster of the stuff that we have that we're going to share with you, because we have lots of interesting things coming.
The next video that you're going to see, probably released today as well, is just after RAGBRAI, we went to Madison and we took a bike ride on the tandem with my sister Lynn.
Yeah. Sequentially, I mean, our last video that we released, a month ago or whatever, sort of ended with the day of RAGBRAI ended with a bourbon tasting, This episode occurred a few days later.
Yeah.
So, from a real timeline, it was only a few days, but it's been a month or so. So there is anyway, that's
It's
where
been
we're
more
going to
than a
pick
month.
up on the next episode is where the last one left off, a month ago.
Yeah.
But after that, we took a trip in September. We took a trip for Labor Day to Wisconsin. On our way back from that trip, we routed ourselves through northern Idaho, and we did some fantastic rail trails in the mountains in northern Idaho. And wow, did we
It was,
get lucky with weather, and just we gathered some fantastic footage of that we're anxious to share with you. So that'll be coming. Somewhere in there, we also
went to Boulder.
went to Boulder.
That was after, that will be the next episode after the bike ride in Madison with my sister. Will be a quick trip to Boulder on our way home from
And
Rag
for those
Ride.
of you who watch channels similar to ours,
You might have an idea.
you may have an idea of who we might have visited in Boulder. There's an individual that. Anyway, big surprise.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have all this footage from Taiwan, and we took a lot of footage in Taiwan. We did a lot of really fantastic rides. So we expect there'll be multiple
Episodes from there.
really great episodes of cycling in Taiwan. So stay tuned for that. So that's really the update. We're moving, and it's a pain in the ass, and we have a lot of work to do.
Keep us in your thoughts.
And the house is mostly half packed up. So think about us. And if you want to come help us load the truck, let me know. We need all the help, particularly at loading all the stuff at Frank's place.
In the dead of winter.
Such a smart thing. I think it's it. Is that it?
Yep.
I think that's it. So
Hey,
that's the big update.
thanks for watching.
Yep.
Enjoy the ride.
Feel free to tell us how dumb we are in the comments or how smart we are, depending on, we're open to either opinion. Because we feel that we think
Both ways.
both ways. We flip-flop pretty frequently on whether we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing or smart or stupid or whatever. But let us know your thoughts. And hey, if you live in Houston, we'll see you on the trail soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Enjoy the ride.
wear a helmet.